This cheesecake is so dang good. I don't know if you're like me, but I have a major sweet tooth. Do you ever just eat your lean and green and just wish you had something sweet right after? So this is one of my favorite things. I'll just cut back my protein and I'll add in my cheesecake. It'll help with that sweet tooth
and keep you right on plan.
Let's start by making the crust. You will need a 9-inch pie pan or something similar in size. We're gonna start by adding 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. You can also use butter, but I really like the flavor that the coconut oil adds. We're then gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Then we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of stevia and 1.5 cups almond flour. And we're just gonna mix that all together.
Stay tuned to the end where I share a different version of this cheesecake.
Once you have that all mixed, we're just gonna pat it right down into our pie pan.
Don't worry if it seems a little crumbly when you put it in your pan. You're gonna pat that down, it will all come together. I'm gonna finish that off by patting it down to make sure everything's packed together, also to form the edge of the crust.
You just wanna try and make it as even as possible. Okay, once that's all patted down in your pie pan, we're just gonna go ahead and bake at 400 for about 5 to 8 minutes.
Once that's out of the oven, we're gonna go ahead and let it cool for about an hour, and then we'll make the cheesecake filling.
We're gonna go ahead and make the cheesecake filling. And we're gonna go ahead and use our immersion blender again. So we're just gonna set that aside. We're gonna use 16 ounces of cottage cheese.
Next, we'll add 8 ounces of light cream cheese, and this needs to be softened or at room temperature.
We're actually gonna use, and you can choose any flavor you want, I'm just gonna use a raspberry lemonade drink packet, and I'm just gonna add that in and mix it up.
Make sure this is a sugar-free drink packet, and you can use 1 to 2 packets depending on how much flavor you'd like.
And once that's mixed, I'm just gonna scrape that off of my immersion blender. And again, these little spatulas are little lifesavers for this immersion blender. They work so well, getting in all the little spaces. And we're just gonna add that right to our crust.
If you're enjoying this recipe, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe.
Once that's done, you're just gonna wanna chill for about an hour or 2 and it will be ready to eat. Remember, this is 8 servings. I hope you enjoy this sweet treat. Maybe you have an event that you don't wanna feel left out, and so this is a perfect dessert you can take, you can share with everybody, or just save for yourself. This way you're still having something sweet, but you know you're not going off plan. Okay, on to our second one. Again, remember our crust is the same as the first one, so that recipe is not gonna change, but the rest of this is gonna be a little bit different than the raspberry lemonade cheesecake.
We are gonna start with 20 ounces of cottage cheese.
We're gonna go ahead and add 4 ounces of light cream cheese, and you wanna make sure this has been softened or at room temperature. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So I'm just gonna set that aside. I'm gonna roll my lemon. Now I use 2 different kind of juicers. You can either use this, which really smashes it and gets it all out, or you can use one of these and it will just fill it right in here, and it also has the measurements right on here to make it super easy. I ended up doing about 2 tablespoons, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in here to make sure I just get 1 tablespoon. And then we're gonna use 2 of the drink packets. This time I'm gonna use Blackberry lemonade. So we'll use 2 of those. And we'll just pour those right in. And we'll just mix that up. Once that's all blended, we're just gonna add it into our crust and we're gonna let it chill for about 2 hours. I'm just gonna stir that to make sure everything's blended, and then we'll add it in the crust.
Both of these cheesecakes are going to taste so good. The first one's going to have more of a dense cheesecake type texture, and this one's going to have a little bit more like a creamy pie texture.
Okay, we're just going to chill that for 2 hours and it will be ready to eat.
This is 8 servings, but you can also make it 16 servings. Just make sure that you are counting your condiments, protein, healthy fats accordingly. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out other recipes on my channel.